This is the power of hello. How to use conversation to channel your sea of opportunities. I'll be your speaker, Keisha Mitchell, lead content creator at Ledger. And I'd like to begin with a brief history of the word hello. Contrary to popular belief, hello is a modern invention. This isn't to say humans haven't always found ways to greet one another and walk through the gateway of conversational exchange, though. In fact, the origins of the greeting and the things we found to talk about have a history as long and as varied as the means we've created to communicate with one another throughout the ages. Hello, however, had its colloquial conquest alongside the birth of the telephone. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the first published use of hello goes back only to 1827. 50 years later, in 1876, hello became hi after Edison urged the use of the greeting in published phone books that were commonly sold alongside the use of this popular invention to teach the public best practices. Today, thanks to both advancements in technology and advance in communication, hello has the power to change your life and serve as the planks that help you build a bridge to your best and biggest accomplishments. Hello, my name is Keisha Mitchell, and I would like to just give you a bit of my background. I'm not a scientist or an expert per se, but I have talked a lot. Ironically enough, I didn't start speaking until I was 4, but in the 30 years since, I have professionally conducted interviews with over 200 dignitaries, diplomats, and denizens of all backgrounds, produced and successfully promoted over 75 events, hosted a 3-year-long podcast, served as the editor-in-chief for 3 publications, and have led dozens of staff since 2008. And I currently work as the lead content creator for Ledger's development blog and also serve as a brand ambassador for Auth0. In all of these experiences, I'm consistently fascinated and comforted by how the fundamentals of communication stay the same, but also recognize how people struggle with those fundamentals and how employing them in an equitable and genuine way can positively impact the quality of a person's lived experience. So let's talk about conversation as a tool. Out of all of our human faculties, when it comes to existing alongside others, communication is a cornerstone of survival. It is without question one of the most detrimental tools that we have for impacting the creation and conditions of our material world. When you consider communication, I found it's best to consider 3 primary points. A, how do you desire to be received and or express yourself? B, what is it that you need? And C, who is it that you're speaking to? So how is it that you desire to be received / express yourself? Well, this is the first and foremost question because it's the root from which all of your personal behaviors and perspectives about communication will emanate. You must reflect and analyze what your personal truth is often so that you can analyze how to best deliver that truth to others. Though it's never advisable to change who you are for anyone, knowing who you are allows you to maintain control of your narrative, but also allows you to identify how to succinctly and precisely customize that delivery through the appropriate context and circumstances that you may find yourself in. And what is it that you need? Well, like identifying and leading with your personal truth / self-view, it's equally as crucial to identify what you need when initiating conversation. Now, I don't suggest this pedantically. However, you should always move with intention, as intention is the magnetic force that aligns us with our perceivable goals. If you need to find out information about a job opening, it would not be advantageous to you or the hiring manager that you're speaking with to spend the time you have together aimlessly talking about sweaters or about the groceries you bought last week. If these elements allow you to create a more genuine, palpable connection with said recruiter because you can both relate to enjoying a certain brand of sweaters, or you find a shared experience in preferring a certain grocery chain over another, then by all means, please explore and expound on the ways you can connect with another individual. But utilize and remain mindful that the intention of the conversation is to get information about the position you're interested in and apply to the opening. In short, manage your energy and be mindful of your end goal when conversing with others. And who is it that you're talking to? Well, when it comes to communication, knowing your audience is everything. After you are confident in who you are and how do you like to communicate that being to others, That awareness must then translate into consideration and cognizance of who you're speaking to. The who in communication always informs the how. You wouldn't speak to a group of 12-year-olds the way you would speak to a group of toddlers, and likely you wouldn't speak to a group of 50-year-olds the way you speak to a group of teenagers. This is because you instinctually understand that differences in experience and level of understanding merit a more precise approach to how you'll say what you need to say for the greatest impact. So again, while being superficial or fake isn't the advice here, the takeaway is to put yourself in the space in place of the person or group you're speaking to and try your best to combine that understanding with your ultimate intention for maximum effect. Conquering communication and investing in the exchange is the next step. Because now that you have the functional utilities involved in engaging in communication, you have the tools necessary to master initiating conversations and identifying your goals for doing so. So naturally, we need to mesh your personal will and end goals with the true investment and genuine interest in others. This is by far what I believe to be the most make or break part of communication, and one that's unfortunately overlooked or abused. Con men are excellent at their professions because they invest in their targets in a way that makes others feel empowered, smart, and ultimately confident, hence the con. There is a certain superpower in making people feel good about themselves, or at the very least, listened to. But who says you can't use your superpowers for good? In Karen Huang's 2017 report for Harvard's Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, entitled "It Doesn't Hurt to Ask, Question Asking Increases Liking," Wang considered 3 studies where they observed a tangible connection between question asking and liking. She found that people who ask questions, particularly follow-up questions, are better liked by their conversation partners. And when people are instructed to ask more questions, they are perceived as higher in responsiveness, an interpersonal construct that captures listening, understanding, validation, and care. This means that when managing your energy and being mindful of your end goals and conversing with others, asking thoughtful and sincere questions must be a part of that process. If you need to find out information about a job opening, while it wouldn't be advantageous to you or the hiring manager to spend the time you have speaking about those sweaters or, again, those groceries that you bought, I can guarantee that it would also not be in your best interest to go straight into an interrogation about the role, benefits, and compensation of that opening. That would simply be considered rude. If you led the conversation, however, with, "Hello, how are you?" and then gave the added measure of the appropriate pause for the hiring manager to respond, and then followed up with a pointed, genuine reply to their response, you've both initiated a conversation, invested in the other person that you're speaking with, and you've opened up a genuine channel of exchange. Conversations will always be inherently transactional, but the humans involved should never be made to feel like the commodity. Rather, all parties should be valued and given the respect of a valued stakeholder with information that they uniquely possess. Extroversion 101. You can come sit with us. Of course, you might have just listened to me say all of this and think to yourself, but I don't like talking to people. Or, well, I can't talk to people because I'm an introvert. And that works too. You don't have to be an extrovert to be good at having or holding conversations with others. If the thought of approaching others or reaching out to others is nerve-wracking or anxiety-inducing, then consider all the ways technology has allowed us to be close and form those connections while maintaining a comfortable distance, if that's what you feel like you need. This means employing all the tools you have at your disposal. So, using those tools. Email, direct messages, comment sections are all a few of the ways that you can get the conversation started. If you feel squeamish about being this direct, consider also forums, chats, and using your own social profiles to bring the people and the information that you need to you. Never underestimate the value you hold and the appeal you have to others as well. The globe and the World Wide Web are filled with people waiting to meet and support you in your success. Practice. Like with any tool, you must use it to become better with it. Conversation is no different. If you can't bring yourself to engage in tons of small talk, or you find your social battery runs low often, try to carve out at least 1 hour of one day a week where you interact with or engage in some type of communicative exchange. So whether that's chatting with your neighbor, calling a friend on the phone, taking time to assert your voice in a Discord channel or Reddit forum, Anything will work to help you build up those conversational chops. And if you can't do those things, you can also listen to others converse. Watch interviews from your favorite media outlet, listen to podcasts or NPR so that you can also learn from others and become more masterful in helping you sharpen your skills. And lastly, you got to enjoy yourself. You must find joy. And like anything, joy adds a dimension to the act of doing things that can't be overstated or underestimated. If you can find enjoyment in sharing with others and having conversations to not only, want to do it more, but make others want to do it with you as well, then you can become joyful in the opportunity and become excited about finding what you need existentially through others. Be blissful about the capacity to speak with other people and go confidently in the direction of communication. So, in conclusion, it's a vibe. Really, communication is the river that can and will lead you to a sea of opportunities if you allow it. By simply staying open and utilizing conversation as a tool to access and align with your needs, investing in others during those conversations, and finding ways to communicate in, ways that allow you to shine brightest and be your truest self, you will create a vibe and appeal around you that is undeniable and seemingly unstoppable. I truly believe if you want to not only survive, but thrive, you must learn how to communicate and, more importantly, how to have great conversations. Trust me. And with that, I'd like to thank you for listening. Again, my name is Keisha Mitchell, and I am so happy that I got to converse with you all today. And I hope that my tools for better conversations will lead you to success that you couldn't even fathom. Feel free to chat with me further by following me at the tags below. On Twitter, you can follow me on at the MF and Editor. On Instagram, I can be found at Follow the Root. And at email, you can contact me at my address at devk.andmitchell@gmail.com. Again, I am available for conversations. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. I am happy to help you, with any kind of conversational questions that you might have or, any anxieties that you might have on initiating conversations, anything that you can think about. I am happy to share myself as a resource with you and, also get that conversation started. So please feel free to reach out to me. It has been a pleasure. I would like to thank Abanda for this opportunity to speak with Google Tech Makers on this International Women's Day event in this International Women's Month. This has been an awesome opportunity, and I hope that you guys go be great. Thank you. Bye.